What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Times
What's up? What's up?
and Levon Maynard.
Welcome to the show.
What is going on? So welcome to Monday's episode. Definitely continue to tune in. Monday and Tuesday are our topics. Wednesday's our discussion. And then Fridays, we talk about everything else. We call it the weekly rundown, some games, movies, books, all that good stuff. Remember to like, share, subscribe. I finally said it at the front of the podcast instead of the back. So without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article is actually from the hackernews.com, and actually our favorite, I would say, because we do so many articles by them. Ravi Lakshmanan wrote this one, and it's titled "Facebook Detects 400 Android and iOS apps stealing users' login credentials." Right. So Meta Platforms, right, on Friday disclosed that it had identified over 400 malicious apps on Android and iOS. Right. So Ryan can't just say it's just Android. Okay, it was Android and iOS, because I know how you get down, right? But the apps were listed on the Google Play Store, Apple's App Store, and they were disguised as photo editors, games, VPN services, business apps, and other utilities, right? And so what they do is they get people to download these, and they're stealing their credentials, right? They're stealing their login credentials when they use these to when they use the use Facebook as an option, you know what I mean, to log into them. Which is not what you want, right? But like here's the thing with this, right? And I've always thought about this, and reading this just kind of confirmed it for me. This is always the risk you take when you do this, right? You put it in somebody else's hands. Unless you control these things from start to finish, like, you don't know what's happening with that data, right? Even with some of the measures you can do to verify that, you know, it's a legitimate company or whatever the case may be, right? There's always a rogue person out there doing something, right, that you never know. Whoever was working for this developer could have been doing this and it just got by, right? But I would honestly think that before these tools get to Google and iOS, the Google Play Store and the iOS store, that there'd be a little bit of a verification on their end as well, right? Like, I wouldn't think that they would be just allowing whatever to get on there. There'd be some type of backing of this, but they give some numbers here in the article, right? So 42.6% of the rogue apps were photo editors, right? Which I don't understand, because almost every camera on every phone now has a photo editor you can use, but maybe it's just not good enough. You know, I'm an old fuddy-duddy, right? Like, I would probably still use Polaroids. So I don't know, maybe it's just me. You know what I mean? But 42.6% were photo editors. Business utilities were 15.4%, phone utilities 14.1%, games 11.7%, VPNs 11.7%. That's one that, you know, a lot of people can fall trap to, right? Because they're very trusting of VPNs, right? That's one of the things they use to not have not have their information looked at or scrutinized so heavily, I guess. I don't want to necessarily say hiding, but kind of hiding for the VPN. So the fact that some of the VPNs are on there, that one probably hurt people a little bit. And then lifestyle apps was 4.4%, right? So, but one of the things they say here is that a lot of the iOS apps posed as ads managers for tools for Meta and its Facebook subsidiary, right? So Facebook Meta released this, right, on behalf of Facebook, right? Because Meta's the parent company, and they're like, hey, all right, so we're just going to put this out there. Let's be honest now. A lot of these were ads managers for us, and we just want people to be aware of what's going on. So, but yeah, these apps, man, like, again, like I said before, like, it's one of those things where you kind of take your identity in your own hands when you start using these things, right? Because especially when you know, you can sign in with Facebook, sign in with Google is an option I've seen. I've seen it with Apple even, you know what I mean? Sign in with your Apple ID, you know what I mean? So this is one of those things where you gotta try to do as much due diligence as you can, like research the developers of some of these tools, right? One of the things they did in here that they mentioned in the article that I thought was smart on their part for the people that are doing wrong here was that they tried to counteract the negative reviews, right? Because usually what people do is they look at reviews, and if they see stuff in there that doesn't look good or it's not a good product, right, you start getting, you know, in the 3s and the 2s, who will be like, nah, I'm staying away from that. So what they did was they just artificially elevated their review score by putting good reviews in there. So I mean, that's kind of smart on their part, and it's one of the things that people look for, to where you never know. You never know what's going on now, right? Like what's truth, right? It's like if you go to if you go to a site and you see nothing but good reviews, you got to be like, nah, that's not the case. Like nothing is perfect, right? It's like when I read reviews for things, I don't look at all the fives, I don't look at all the 1 stars. You know what I mean? Like I go in between. Give me the 2 to 4 because nothing's perfect and seems that bad. But Levon, what's your stance on this, man? What you got?
Yeah, man, I think that's some great advice right there. That's actually I was watching some other YouTube video. They were talking about watching rating systems, not specific to apps, but like he was talking about like Chinese restaurants. If you go to like a Yelp or something like that, or whatever, you're looking up for a Chinese restaurant, don't find a Chinese restaurant that says like 5 stars or 1 star. You got to find some in between because like it's because it's Chinese food. They have might be a good restaurant. If it has like 5 stars, it might be like a some posh like Chinese restaurant like a PF Chang or something like that. Like the ones that have the good Chinese food are normally the ones that are like in the street somewhere and maybe don't have the best customer service and like and like
Is that the one where he said 3.5 was the sweet spot?
Yeah, I think it's like 3.5.
I read that. I was like, that's kind of true. That's kind of true. Give me some tacos. Give me some street tacos at 3.5.
Right.
I don't.
Right. That's pretty much what you can tell. Is like, okay, this is pretty authentic. Like I know that I can trust this rating right here. But yeah, I think you gave some great advice. I mean, it's like it's always interesting. I mean, we talked about this before, but just like there's so many apps out there, and a lot of apps that have features that may be already available on your phone. But it's important that everybody has to like scrutinize. They need to scrutinize like these applications before they download them. Besides just looking at the reviews, seeing how many downloads they have, and also just taking a pause and thinking to yourself, like, do I actually need this app on my phone? Do I need a extra photo editor? Because like you said, 42.6% of the were photo editors, which most of the stuff in these editors you can do on a Google phone or iPhone. I know there's some specialized photo editors that may give you some more like, I don't know, they give you something like a kind of like you put like a mask on your face or something like that, or kind of like the like the tick. Yeah, who really do you really need that? So you just got to pause and to think to yourself, like, do I really need this stuff on my phone? But yeah, it's like, especially if these apps, if they ask for like extra credentials, like they need your permissions to access like, your contacts or, access. And like you mentioned as well, if it asks you to log in with a third party account, like use your Facebook identity or your Google identity or something like that, or your iPhone. I almost never use that option. I mean, unless it's a place that I truly like am confident of, that I'll use maybe like a sign in as Google, sign in with my Google profile, whatever. But even then, it'll tell you right then when it's trying to sign you in, it'll tell you what features or what access they'll have to your account, whether just say the profile, I may say access to your contacts or access to whatever part of your profile. So it's good to make sure you take a look at that, even if you are using those options on something that you trust. But yeah, I think it's just something that you got to be aware of. You can't just be downloading willy-nilly any application that you see on the web. But I guess with that, I'll turn it over to you, Ryan. What you think about this one?
Yeah, it's just good to be paranoid. Like the app's asking you for like access to your calculator and your flashlight. Like, why do you need that? I know it makes sense. But I think the picture editor that usually are the highest rated or the highest downloads are usually like collage picture editors, right? Because I don't know if you could do a collage from your phone by default. Because I have one of those. Like, oh yeah, we'll make a collage with all these pictures together. And usually it's easier to download one of those, but I probably have a bad one because I always pick the highest rated one. I'm like, oh, everybody's using this one. So I could be also susceptible to it. But just for the most part, yeah, if it's a third party app, don't sign in through one of your major social medias. Like, try to stay away from that. Like, if it gives you the option to create a username and password, and do that, even though it's a pain in the butt, your phone will remember it anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. But I could definitely see people swaying that way. But I think the numbers that you guys left out most of is it was 402 apps, right? 355 were Android, and then only 47 were iOS. Just put it out there. Just put the numbers out there, right? Just
It's
no
'cause Apple
spin
people
zone
are
over
picky.
here.
They're picky over there. They only know they only take a couple apps at a time. They're like,
Right, right.
Look, all I know is since this last major update on my phone, a lot of my apps don't work like they used to. That's what I.
That's a security feature.
It is.
These were all
That's
that.
me.
that's right. I just happened to be looking at my Google phone. It does have a collage feature in the photo app. So I already have that feature embedded. I'm not sure about
Maybe
the
it's already in there. I
iPhone.
just don't know. But I'm like, I can't figure it out. Like I feel like I don't understand technology sometimes. I'm like, I'll just get this collage editor real quick.
Right.
That's how to get you. That's how to get
That's how
you.
they get you.
And now you got people sending stuff on behalf of your account. Like you see it all the time. Like, oh, I didn't send that. Don't answer the person sending messages from my account. So you just gotta be careful.
Right.
Yeah, but I think it pretty much does it for the episode. Definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. Tuesday, we're going to talk about Department of Energy, and then on Wednesday's discussion, we're going to talk about the conviction of the Uber chief. I think it was CTO. I think it was the chief technology officer. So definitely tune in for that one as well. Then Friday, obviously, is everything else. So movies, TV shows, and like that stuff. Hit us up at all of our social medias. They go by our name. You get me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and Twitter. And you, Levon?
Yes, sir. You can hit me on the Twitters at Levon Maynard.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.
Take care.